I'm Angel Ravindra Bhalerao. I'm studying in Podda International School in class 8. Today we are going to see the question and answers of the lesson A Fishy Story written by Jerome K. Jerome. But before watching this video in detail, don't forget to subscribe my channel. So let's start. Vocabulary: words and its meaning. First, Vinos, meaning very small freshwater fish. Second, gumption, meaning initiative and resourcefulness. Third, angler, meaning a person who fishes with a hook or a line. Fourth, exaggerate, meaning make something seem more than it really is. Fifth, hauls, meaning the amount of fish caught. Sixth, parlor, meaning a shop providing specifies goods or services. 7. Inn, a small hotel. 8. Stolid, meaning not showing much emotion or interest. 9. Solemn, meaning serious. 10th, fragment, meaning small parts that have broken off something. Question number 1. What caught the author's attention? The answer is the narrator and his friend happened to see an old glass case fixed quite high above the chimney piece. The glass case had in it a very big trout. The fish fascinated the visitors. It was thought to be a remarkably fine fish. Question 2. How did the old gentleman narrate the story? The answer is the old gentleman noticed the interest of the visitors in the fish. He remarked that the fish was very uncommon. George agreed with him and asked him casually how it weighed. The man said that it weighed 18 pounds 6 ounces. Then he went on with his story. He said that he caught the fish below the bridge with a minnow about 16 years ago. Question 3. How did the local carrier narrate the story? The answer is the local carrier came to the door of the room after the old gentleman had left. He also looked at the fish. When he learned that the visitors were strangers, he came out with his own story about the fish. He said that it was he who caught the fish about 5 years ago. He claimed that he caught it just below the lock with a fly, bidding the visitors good night. 5 minutes thereafter, a third man came in and described how he caught the trout with a bleak. Question 4. How did third man narrate the story? The answer is a serious looking man appeared after the local carrier had left. George turned to him and prompted him to speak out. He almost invited him to say his piece by asking him as to how he caught the fish. He showed his surprise but did not hesitate it, weaving his own yarn. He said that he had to struggle hard to catch the big fish and had his rod broken. He claimed that the fish weighed 34 pounds on the scale when he weighed it carefully at home. He went on his turn. Question 5. How did the landlord narrate the story? The answer is the visitor told the landlord all the stories about the fish told to them. The landlord laughed heartily and made fun of all the men who had told those stories. Then he described how he had caught the fish years ago when he was just a school-going boy. At this point, he was called out of the room. Question 6. Narrate the incidents of revelation of trout fish. The answer is George could not control himself. He climbed up on the back of the chair to look at the fish closely. The chair slipped and George held on to the glass case of the fish tightly. Throwing down the case along with him and the chair on the ground, the narrator feared for the fish. He saw the fish broke into thousands of pieces. It was something strange and inexplicable. The visitors, however, realized the reality about the fish. The fish was not stuffed one, as they had thought, but was made of plaster of Paris. Question A. Who spoke these words? Where were the speaker and his listeners sitting? The answer is, an old gentleman spoke these words. He, along with George and the narrator, was sitting in a riverside inn. Question B. Whom did the speaker refer to by him? The answer is, him refers to the trout kept in a dusty old glass case. Question C. How much did the fish weigh according to the speaker? The answer is, according to the speaker, the fish weighed 18 pounds and 6 ounces. Question D. Who came in after the speaker left? The answer is, the local carrier came in after the speaker left. Question 2a. Who had said these words and to whom? You haven't injured the fish, have you? The answer is, the narrator said these words to George. B. What made the speaker say these words? The answer is, the narrator said these words because George had accidentally dropped the fish and had himself fallen on it. C. What did they see when the listener got up? The answer is, when George got up, they saw that the fish had shattered into 1,000 pieces. D. What truth did they learn about the fish from this incident? The answer is, they learned that it wasn't a real fish. It was made of plaster. Answer these questions. Question 1. Where was the trout and why did it fascinate George and his narrator? The answer is, the trout was in an old glass case fixed high on the wall of the inn. It fascinated George and the narrator because it was extremely huge. Question 2. How many people claimed that they had caught the trout? Who were they? The answer is, 5 people claimed that they had caught the trout. The first was an old gentleman, the second was the local carrier, the third was a man who came into the inn, the fourth was a middle-aged man, and the fifth was the owner of the inn. Question 3. Which 4 pieces of information did the carrier give about his catching the trout? The answer is, the carrier said that it had been nearly 5 years since he had caught the trout. He had caught it on a Friday afternoon with a fly. He also said it weighted 26 pounds. Think and answer. Question 1. In what way is this story about the trout a fishy story? The answer is, the story is fishy not only because it is about a trout, but also because the fish become a mystery after 5 people claim to have caught it. Question 2. How do you think George and narrator felt after they discovered the truth about the trout? The answer is, George and the narrator must have felt silly that they thought that the plaster of Paris fish was a real one. Question 3. Which part of the story did you enjoy the most and why? The answer is, the part where George and the narrator describe. My opinion, the part where George and the narrator discovered the truth about the fish was the most enjoyable because it was very funny. Okay friends, I hope you liked this video. Okay friends, these were the question and answers of the lesson, A Fishy Story. So I hope you all like this video. If you like this video, then hit the like button, share with your friends, and if you have any suggestions for me, please write in comment box. Bye. Have a good day. Thanks for watching my video.